Stockholm, Sweden. It's the 12th of September 2024, and the preseason games are now over and the season is coming up. But before we talk about that, how would you describe getting the preseason training in and, you know, the stuff that happens before the season begins?
Vitally important. I think it's the most important part of the season. 1, meet your teammates. 2, bond with your teammates. 3, build chemistry on the ice. And 4, build that chemistry and, you know, trust with your coaches. And 5, put it all together to create a team that has one identity of trying to ultimately win and be in the SHL next year. And preseason was a mark for that, and it starts there, and everything else just progresses. It's a mountain, and we were aiming for the top. So I think preseason is super important.
Anyway, so preseason pretty much in the bag. What about the games you've played so far? There's been had like 5 of them. 6?
I played 3.
3?
I played 3.
Yeah. So what can you tell me about the games in the preseason? What do you think about them? What do they do for you and the team?
For me, it's just getting the summer rust out and battling against somebody that's not your own teammates in practice. Because if you're battling against your team, you start to like, you know, now you're like, you know, you're like battling heads, bonking heads with one another on the ice. It's like, so now it's nice to compete against somebody else on the ice. But like I said, it's the rust, like that's the thing, and taking out the kinks that we need to get out of our game and add in the stuff that's important that's going to help us win games. And the amount of games we played was very important for us to keep kind of progressing. And that camp was long enough for us to work on systems, work on the base and the foundation, you know, ultimately build that house. So for us, it was very important to play those games in the camp that we had. And I think it's just kind of leading us up a nice trajectory on where we want to end up at the end of the season. So these games are very, very helpful for us to, you know, go back, watch videos, see what we need to work on, and just help us every single day to get better and better. And
now the wait is finally almost over, because in just a few days' time, September 20th, you're going to go an away game for the opening of the season against Oskarshamn. Like a 3.5 hour bus ride south.
Yeah.
So what are your feelings towards the opening game of the season?
Incredibly excited. It matters now. Everything that we've worked for in the past month and a half matters and comes down. Nothing else that we did in the past now matters. The games, the scores, anything. Now it's standings and points. So what we did was we built up, and now this is where it matters. And for us, we're going to be ready to go. I have no doubt that we're going to be ready to go for game 1. We're going to be psyched, so are they. We're going to go into a building on our first game of the season and make a statement to the league that we're not going to be messing around. And I'm really excited for us to see what we got and what we're going to bring to that first game.
That sounds great in my ears, but I'm biased. Am I not?
Yeah.
Since I'm wearing the sheet.
Yeah.
I've been doing that for all my life. That's the way it works. You know, passion is something that stays with you, I hope, or with me at least. Yeah. The opening game is away, and just 4 days after that one, it's the opening game, the home game, first one for the season. What are your expectations for the opening home game on September 24th against Karlskoga?
Our play-wise, or fans, or what like the experience, or everything?
You know, you're playing in front of the home crowd,
okay.
And, you know, basically the whole shebang.
There is nothing better to me than playing at home. There's nothing better. You get support from your fans. It's loud. They cheer for you. So it's exciting in that way. And I've seen videos of what games are like, the chanting, though I don't really know what they're saying yet, but I'll figure it out what they're saying, and by the end of the year probably be singing it myself. But I could not be more excited. We're gonna be juiced up. It's our fans, it's our building, and like I said, the home opener is just as big as the first game of the season, you know, because it's our fans' first time seeing us really, really live, besides these preseason games where everything's on the line and everything matters. So our goal is just come out and give them a show that we expect us to do, and I think that'll be very promising when that game comes along.
Yeah, I'm sort of psyched already, but you know, yeah. So I'm happy that you're here and making a statement on the ice. I've watched you. It's you know, it's in your blood, I guess, hockey.
Yeah. I've been doing it for a while, you know, and it's passionate. I've never been someone who would love to do a 9 to 5. I love the coming to the rink early, doing my routine, hanging out with the guys, competing on the ice and doing this. This is what I've done since I was 2 years old, and this is what I'm going to do until I decide that it's over. But it's unbelievable. It's one of the best things ever, and I consider it something that I do, but not my entire life, but it is something that I've done for a long time, and relationships that I've built over the years and relationships that I'm building now with people who speak a different language than me is super cool. So it's taken me to crazy places, but I'm so passionate about it, and I absolutely love it.
Now, traveling around as a North American in Europe and in Scandinavia, many of us like to speak English, especially in Sweden, because we're sort of what do you say, Americanized.
Yeah.
Lots of TV and everything is just based on well, the UK and mostly the US.
Yep.
So just a side question here.
Sure.
What is it like to actually travel to or live in a country that is not your native country, but it sort of speaks your language, but in a weird like sing-songy Muppety way? I don't know.
Yeah. I felt it a very easy adjustment. People always come up to me and start talking in Swedish, and then I go, sorry, I don't understand. And they're like, okay, and they speak English to me, and then it makes sense. Or if they don't, like somebody else will kind of hear me that knows English and come up and help. Like, it's been very, very easy. And I heard stories that people knew how to speak English, so I wasn't too worried about it. My goal is to be able to understand Swedish by the end of the year is kind of my goal, or like figure it out a little bit, to have a little bit of a base, because why not? You know, I got a lot of time on my hands, might as well learn something and be a part of this, because to me this is home for the year, and why not like acclimate and get a little home inside of me. So
that's a good attitude, I think. I really like it. Yeah.
It'd be also cool to go home and speak Swedish to my brother and teach him. So he's a big, he likes learning that stuff. So
is he bigger, smaller?
He's 2 years older than me, but
he's also a hockey player?
He's not, no.
He's not?
No.
Okay, so...
But he's, my mom's parents were from Germany, so like Germans in our family, so it's all kind of similar in a sense, so he's always fascinated by that stuff and the languages, so.
Awesome. Yeah, it's cool. I like having players from over there in Sweden, because you bring another mindset, I think, to the game, which I sort of miss sometimes. You know, the first skate on the ice is just powerful, and you go, wow.
Yeah.
I was watching you, it's like,
yeah.
So it makes me smile, and also Kelleher and
Colby.
No, what's his name?
Sissons, Colby,
yeah, Colby. It's like, it's a mindset that I think maybe Sweden could use a little more of that crash in that.
Yeah.
A little bit more.
You know what, I like our battle level. Like, you see us, we're not putting up with anything out there, and I love seeing that. You know, I'm like, protect your teammates, protect your goalie, stand up for one another, and it's part of the game. And nobody's going to push us around. So I think that's like really important for us to stand up for one another, because we're going into battle with one another, and I wouldn't feel comfortable if somebody didn't have my back. So I'm going to make sure that I have their back to earn that trust, to let them have mine, you know, so that's very important.
Yeah, I sort of noticed that. I think it was one of the games that you played that I watched ringside, that it was like some kind of scuffle down by the
sides,
boards,
Yep.
And I think that was you. Maybe one other, and it's like immediately defending teammates.
Yeah.
And that is something that I love to see, because you have to.
Yeah, absolutely have to. It's something I've learned in the last year, just trying to incorporate into my game, but within reason. I'm not going up and cross-checking them, taking 2 minutes. It's within reason.
But make a statement like, you do this is going to happen.
Yeah.
So don't do it again.
Yeah, exactly.
Or
exactly.
We'll meet again.
Because it'll suck every time if they keep doing it. Yeah. Absolutely.
So that sort of leads up to my finishing up question, really. You've been doing this for a bit, but I thought I might just formalize it. If you describe yourself as a hockey player, what makes you the player that you are?
I think for me, it's my passion, my hard work, my commitment, and the details for me. I have absolutely grown a tremendous amount since I was 16, 17, 18, 19, all the way up to 24 now, and just really figuring out who I am. I'm a big believer that hockey has a massive part being mental. So for me, it's controlling the mental side of the game and understanding how important that is. But you can't teach, you know, like hard work, you can't teach compete. You kind of just have it or you don't. And for me, that's something that's very important that I want to bring every day. And I'm super passionate. Like, I talk a lot, but like that's because I care about guys doing well and want to help the team do well. So for me, those are the things that I always kind of pride myself on. And on the ice, I think, like skating, I've always been a good skater, and just thinking the game as well. I feel like that's a super positive thing that I bring. And, you know, talking with the coaches, there's lots of stuff that I want to work on to help building their trust, to help this team, you know, keep getting better and improve. So I'm going to keep working on everything that I need to work on as well to make sure that those are all fine-tuned leading up to our success throughout the year.
That's a very nice answer. We've been talking for a reasonable amount of time, but I'm going to let you go.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Very nice, very nice of you to stop by.
No, I appreciate it.